A man returned back to his home after visiting another city, and he was shocked to see that his beautiful house was on fire. People were standing, lamenting, but they were just like spectators. And this man was standing amongst them, and there were tears in his eyes, and he could not even enter because practically the whole house was on fire. And as he was lamenting with tears in his eyes, at that point his son came and he approached him and he said, "My dear father, don't worry. I have already sold this house to another man at 3 times the price." When the man hears this, he says, "Wow." Immediately his entire approach changes. And he starts looking at the house burning down with a slight smile on his face, feeling that I am also a spectator. At that point, his second son comes running and says, "My dear father, how can you be standing here watching this whole house burn like a spectator as if nothing has happened?" The father said, "Oh, don't you know? The first son came and told me that he has already sold this house to somebody 3 times the price." The second son said, "But my dear father, he has not given us the full amount. He has only given the token advance." When the father hears this, again his entire approach changes. Instead of being a detached spectator, he again becomes attached and involved with that incident. And tears start flowing from his eyes. He starts lamenting again. And at this moment, the third son comes, looks at the father and says, "My dear father, why are you crying so much?" Father says, "Well, you know that this house is mine and I am so attached to it. It has been sold, but still only the advance is received. Therefore, there are high chances that hearing that the house is burnt, the new prospective owner will never make the entire payment." The third son says, "My dear father, I have brought you the good news. I just talked to that owner. I talked to the prospective buyer, and he assured me that for him, keeping the word is reality. And so because he has made an advance and there was no discussion about whether the house will survive or not, he is going to make the full payment. My dear father, do not worry about it." And as soon as the father hears this, again there is a big smile on his face, and he keeps looking at the house burning as if he is not affected at all. Just see the influence of the mind. Aham kritimma karasyat na karat tannishedaka tasmattu namasa kshetri swatantriyam paritajyate. It is the nature of the mind to get attached to the false ego and become detached from the false ego, depending on how we train it. When this man is identifying the house as his property, he is in a state of attachment, absorption. He is affected by it. The moment he takes his mind away from the house and cuts off the subtle connection between him and the house, he becomes detached. He is not affected by the circumstance and the situation. And therefore, the word namaha refers to 2 things, na and ma. And so, na refers to ahankar, the false ego, and ma refers to how something is connected to my ahankar, which is mine. So, na maha literally means to be free from the influence of I and mine and offer everything in service of the Supreme. That is the real, deep, sustainable understanding of detachment.